Okay. Hi everyone, my name's Linda Reed Aniver and welcome to another Business Skills webinar. We are excited today to be talking to you all about the world of video and getting started with video marketing. And for those of you who don't know, I say video is king and then engagement is queen. And video helps you get both of those things working for you. So content is king, engagement is queen is what I was meant to say there. Stumbling over my words already this morning. This is a great start. And we have AB joining us from InVideo today, and he's going to share with us the insights, the tips, the psychology behind video marketing, and then how we can use this game changer of a tool called InVideo to market with our businesses. And InVideo is a great tool that we stumbled across just at the start of COVID-19, actually. It was at the start of COVID we found InVideo. It's a good referral, good video marketing tool. It's templates. It's got amazing stuff in there for you. So AB, welcome.
Yep. Thank you, Linda. Thank you for having me on this. I'm just excited to make this super useful for everyone who's joining in. So, yeah, can I take a moment to tell them how the structure is going to be?
Absolutely, go for it.
Okay, so we're actually going to start off with the fundamentals of video marketing in 2020, how the state looks like. Yep. Before you can begin to take up, like, don't believe us for it. I'll show you why it's important enough, and how it has kind of become the default way for people to consume content, right? Then we move on to a very basic 3-step formula that we actually use day in, day out here at InVideo, right? That kind of will allow people to not just create videos for the heck of them, but will actually allow them to leverage them to generate real world leads and business for their brand, right? So that's going to happen. I'm also going to run you through a couple of real world examples of how we've done it here at InVideo. Like, we'll show you the full funnel, and then eventually we'll jump into like a quick tour of the product, so you know exactly how you can achieve this within a platform like InVideo. And I think Linda, at the end of it all, also has a special coupon code to give out, and you've got a link that you want to.
I do have the link. I'm going to go and see if I can find the coupon code, but the link is there for you guys to begin with, and I'll go and see in our email tree where that coupon code is.
Perfect. So Linda's already dropped in the link for everyone to go check out InVideo. It's you should use that link. Hopefully by the end of the session, you'll see why, it's going to come in super handy, and it's going to be super useful for everyone when it comes to any form of video creation, right? And more so if you're in the marketing landscape. If you're not an editor and you're actually looking to create videos from a marketing standpoint, then they should come in very handy.
Fantastic. Now, guys, I'm popping in the link. It is our referral link. It's our partner link with InVideo. So please feel free to jump onto that one and follow along. And I will find that coupon code that we've been talking about as well. So that'll be good. Okay, AB. So bearing in mind, for those of us who are not starting in video, why is video important?
Well, okay. So can I just share my screen? I actually have
go for it.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Music. Linda, I need your help to be my guiding light here. Let me know if, at any given point in time, my screen goes blank, or if you can't see it.
Not a problem. Right? I'm just dealing with the live stream as well. So yeah, between the two, and Clive's still there. He'll be there to help.
Yeah, just take a look at it every once in a while, because I don't want the rest of the people to kind of go through it.
No. And guys, if you see anything, put it in chat. We'll deal with it.
Yeah. Okay. So, video marketing in 2020, right? Let's start with that. So here's the landscape today. Digital is taken for granted for the most part. So anyone who actually does use, actually spends a lot of time online, which is pretty much most of us, right? We're actually doing that right now as we speak, right? You know that when you look at content and when you consume content, you know that for anyone to actually reach out to you and for anyone to influence you or make an impact on you, forget the fact that they're trying, forget getting to get you to purchase something. I'm saying that even for them to grab your attention, right? They need to be able to delight you. Like, they need to absolutely be able to blow you away, right? So that's condition one. this is one precursor to how the digital or the online landscape looks like today. The second precursor is that smartphones and internet connection are actually getting cheaper by the day, right?
Yep.
So I mean, it is happening here in India. It's happening across the globe, right? So now let's take these two conditions and look at what are the implications of it when they come together, right? uh, Only and only the most engaging mode of communication will prevail, right? Because you're saying that people are kind of expecting the best, and the price of getting to the best is extremely low, which means anyone and everyone can actually consume the best, right?
Yep.
So what do you think they're going to do? Are they going to actually go and engage with a mode of communication that is kind of archaic? No, they're not, right? The day VR becomes that accessible, maybe video will not be the most engaging mode of communication, right? So
Fair enough.
I
Yep.
mean, there's still time for that. Maybe one day 4D technology will be that accessible, but for the time being, it's video, right? So I just want you guys to take a moment to kind of realize the significance of that, right? An average, which already kind of reflects in how we behave online, right? An average internet user spends more than 52 minutes per day watching online video. This obviously is a lot higher in our circle. So, I know a lot of people are looking at this and they're like, hey, come on, 52 minutes is way too less. Like, I probably spend 10x of that time online. I agree with you. I'm talking about if you put all humans across the globe who are online, right, online internet consumers, you'd essentially get about 52 minutes, which is
Yep.
also pretty good, pretty heavy time, right? And this is specifically online video. This is not all the time that you spend online. So, which brings me to the last caveat, right? Digital video becomes the key for brands to reach, engage, and retain their audiences in 2020, right? It becomes the defunct way for how people are preferring to consume content. And if you're not serving them, if you're not meeting them there, then you're going to lose out largely on a whole lot of traction, and you're going to lose out to uh, even the crappiest of crappiest brands who are actually not doing a good job when it comes to their own brand, but
Yep.
are just leveraging video. They're just actually putting out video content, right? Even if it's not great, even if it's not engaging, just because there's motion, you will lose this game to them, right? Okay, so if this is how important video is, let's look at how can you actually use a 3-step formula to kind of create content that gets you leads, right? Here's what you're going to need to be able to apply the system. You're going to need your brand's USP, you're going to need your brand's website, and you're going to need your brand's social profile. That's it, right? Pretty much every brand, if you have a business or a brand, you will have these three things. What I mean by a website is not necessarily like a traditional website. For a lot of people, this could be their Facebook page, right?
Yep.
It's basically your central channel. It's your central repository where you want to drive people to, right? What you won't need, you will not need content writing skills. You will not need detailed design skills, and you're definitely not going to need expensive editing software, right? I'll show you how all these things have become redundant in 2020. So if these are your bottlenecks, brace up, they're not going to be from here on, right? Okay, let's start with the fundamental structure of a sales funnel. I know most of you guys have actually seen this before. You're like, why are we revisiting this? But for everyone who hasn't, and even for the people who have, what I'm going to talk about is the biggest fundamental problem that I've seen in terms of, and we have seen across the board when we've spoken to thousands of people about how they are using video content and how the kind of video content that they create for their consumers, right? The biggest fundamental problem is that you create the same video asset or the same kind of video component for all kinds of users, irrespective of where they are in your sales funnel. So think about the last time you actually tried to create a video. You created a very good video piece. Let's say you created a brand promo. Now you're just running that brand promo as an ad for anyone and everyone who's visiting your website, or for anyone and everyone out there who's probably not seen who doesn't know about your brand before, right? You're using the same ad for retargeting as well as targeting, right? This is the most common fallacy that we've seen, which is why I thought it's important for us to address this. Okay, so if I'm saying that you can't use the same video asset for all the stages that a consumer is at, what can you actually create for them, right? So typically how a traditional sales funnel looks like is that there is attention at the top, which is your, how do you get people to get to know about your brand? Then there's clicks, which in this case is clicks, but usually that's how do you get them to take some form of action. And then there's the bottom of the funnel, which is where they buy your product, right? So at the top of the funnel, you will actually serve them something that we like to call snackable videos, right? So snackable content, as the name suggests, they're just like snacks. They're freakishly addictive. They're freakishly easy to make. And you can actually keep creating them in a very short span of time, right? So and I'll show you an example of how you can do that, but that's snackable video. Then when you move down, what you do is everyone who's interacted or engaged with your snackable video content gets retargeted with a slightly more direct ad of sorts, right? That's the video that ties this snackable video content to how your brand is going to solve that problem, right? So that's your video ad. And then in the end, you've got the offer, obviously, right? Now, once you've put forward why your brand is the best brand to solve this problem, you then lead them to a place where they can buy it, right? And this is usually the offer lands either on your sales page or, as I'm going to show you, a landing page, right? So far, so good?
Yep.
Okay. So
looking good.
That's like the 3-step structure, right? Now let's quickly hop on to snackable videos, right? What do you mean by snackable videos, or how do you come up with a snackable video? The premise is very simple. You take something that is extremely interesting and you add a branded end card, right? So let's take a few industry. Let's actually run through a couple of examples. Let's say you have a pet care shop, right? Now let's think about your target audience for a second here. It's all of those pet owners, right? Everyone who owns a pet in your vicinity. Now think about how they spend their time online. Think about, like, just at the top of your head. We'll get into audience research in detail in a bit, but a snackable video piece for them will be something on the lines of 5 things you did not know your dogs could do, right? Or 4 ways to keep your pets active during a lockdown, right? Or 6 styling tips for your cat, right?
Yep.
So you see where I'm coming from. There is no direct brand plug in here. It isn't buy this from me. This is what I have to offer. You are just actually meeting the user where he is at, right?
Yep.
Why is that the case? This comes down to our next slide, which is how do you come up with something interesting, right? End card is fairly simple, but how do you come up with something interesting? You zero down on your audience persona and you understand it in and out. So in this case, one of our personas is a pet owner, right?
Yeah.
In, let's say, Michigan, right? Once you've and obviously persona can go deeper, but you can talk about their characteristics, their age, and all of that. Then you come to content patterns, right? How is this person spending his time online, and what is the kind of content that he's consuming the most? So in this case, your pet owners are actually people who spend more time on Facebook and Instagram traditionally, as opposed to YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they consume content which has funny images and video clips of animals, right?
Okay. Yep.
Funny / adorable. I don't know of a single pet owner who doesn't at least follow one page where he gets to consume this kind of content. I have a cat. I do it. I know a ton of people who don't have pets, but they still do it, right?
Yep.
So that's a great insight if you think about it. It's very easy to find, but now that you know that they are going to consume this content and they will stop scrolling, what can you do about this insight? You take that insight and put it into a format that has that either has some form of value to give or is extremely fun to watch, right? So all of your funny videos are actually fun to watch. They don't give a lot of value to them, Whereas things like five tips to keep your pets active during a lockdown is actually more valuable, but it's not entirely fun. Now, the sweet spot is actually when you can combine both of them and create a valuetainment piece,
Yep.
right? So, four things you did not know about your dog is actually a valuetainment piece. How does it become valuetainment? Is you take something interesting, or you take something that is valuable, and the treatment, how that pans out in a video, it will actually define if it is interesting, if it's catchy enough, if it's engaging enough, or it's not, right? So we'll also cover that. But that's the premise, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's look at an example of how this will pan out. That's it, right? I've just put in the video, and I have it on my page. I put in the logo, and I ask a question in the end, which will actually entice them. Like, I've taken it one step ahead. I've asked them a question, so they can ask themselves that, and this can actually also be a shorter way for you to get them to take some action.
Yep.
But it's not action in terms of going and checking out some promotional link. It's action in terms of, let us know in the comments below, right? Let us know what do you want us to do, so on and so
Yep.
forth, right? Let us know how we can add more value to your lives, right? But that's the concept of a snackable video. I'm going to show you how you can create this on InVideo in the last 15 minutes, but for the time being, let's move on. Let's move on to the ad, right? This is where you actually start bringing in your brand and kind of tie it to the snackable video that you've shown them, right? So how do you put that? The easiest way to do that is take a problem solution route and then put in an offer after it, right? Now, for a lot of, it's not necessary that you always have to do a problem solution setup. It can be, sometimes it can also be a feature setup wherein you run them through the features and the USPs of your product. But in my opinion, if you directly give a solution without the problem, it's not going to stick, right? Okay. So let's look at an example of how this looks like.
Oh, this is exciting.
Okay, I'm just going to take you to the template and show you that.
Most
You can still
public
see my
record.
screen, right, Linda?
I can still see your screen.
Okay. Sorry, we'll just have to give this a second.
That's okay. Athena, I'm going to answer your question right now. Yes, InVideo does let you edit your own videos up to around the 15-minute mark, but for your full-on course creation where you're doing cuts and transitions, you know that I use a different software for that one. So we use WeVideo for those sorts of things, but it does allow you to edit up to 15 minutes of content.
Sorry, I'm just going to play this. Right? So you see how this, in terms of the look and feel, in terms of how the visuals were, everything is so similar to how your original brand messaging was that it kind of ties, you know, the missing link, right?
Yep.
So let me take a couple of other examples also to kind of tell you how an ad can look like. So you can, if let's say we talk about a fashion brand, right? Your top of the funnel content will be 7 styles that are making a comeback in 2020, right? Your video ad can be, hey, did you love our recommendations
AB, I
for...
don't think our screen's going along with you. We're still on the preview for the doggy food.
Yeah. No.
Okay,
I'm
sorry,
talking
I
about.
just,
Go on, go on.
no, okay, if you haven't clicked, that's fine, yeah.
Yeah. No. So I'm actually on this for a minute
Yep,
because I'm just kind of trying to run through a couple of examples quickly now that people know the concept, right?
that's okay.
So if you actually take the fashion brand, if 7 styles that you didn't know are making a comeback in 2020 is your content for top of the funnel, your middle of the funnel can be something on the lines of, hey, did you love our recommendation for styles in 2020? Guess what? You can actually buy them and get them delivered to your doorstep in under 48 hours with our brand, right? And then I'll actually move on to your bottom of the funnel offer. But just to kind of complete the example, your offer can be get a flat 25% discount and free shipping for just the next 24 hours or just the next 48 hours. So they're actually completing, the whole funnel, right? And obviously the destination where you lead them is your Amazon shopping page if you have one set up. Or if
Yep.
you have a direct website where you let them do, buy things, then it'll be your website, right? But you see this all the time. You've actually experienced this as a consumer. It's just that you've not really made a mental note of these blocks. So, now right? Now you know how the entire world does it.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm just going to quickly move back to my presentation. Okay, here are the different forms of offers that you can give them, right? You can give them downloads. You can give
Yep.
them any form of discounts. You can give them, a free webinar. You can give them a free consultation. You can set up a free demo. So the way that you give value can be of multiple ways. It doesn't necessarily have to come down to an offer. So if you're concerned about that, I'm also taking that away from away as a roadblock, right?
Mhm.
Uh, okay, so here are a couple of examples, real world examples of how we've run campaigns. We spent almost close to $10,000 on these campaigns via ad budgets. So they work and they're still live, right? Okay, example number one. Let's understand the objective. The objective was to kind of get people to come and check out InVideo and obviously get on a paid plan with us,
Yep.
right? How did we do that? Our top of the funnel content was this 2-day live training webinar we did with Mari Smith. She's actually a very good friend of ours. She's one of the leading experts when it comes to Facebook marketing,
Our
right?
community
Now,
knows Mari quite well.
got it. So she actually did this 2-part live training series, right? I'm not going to take you to the video, but we did it on Facebook across 2 weeks. That's our top of the funnel content, right? It's long, it's an hour long, but it's exactly what the audience needs because you're giving them value. You're showing them in fact, here is another example of top of the funnel content, one way of doing it, right? I'm providing insane value so that you guys can actually then go and check out InVideo, right? Now, how does this translate to middle of the funnel? So we then create a shorter 1.5 minute piece with Mari where she's directly looking at the camera and telling people how this is the best time to not pull back their ad spends, right? This was customized for COVID, obviously, but you understand that she's telling you how to create, Facebook ads that sell. And then
Yep.
she's actually telling you that, hey, this is the best time to actually do it because all of your competitors are pulling out their ad spends and your cost per view or your cost per click is going to come in extremely low. So you'll have to spend a lot less money. And then she talks about how InVideo is your default way to go, right? That's your middle of the funnel piece. And then we obviously land them on this landing page that we made for Mari Smith. For everyone who doesn't know, a landing page is basically a one-page website. It's a very, very, very specific kind of a website, if you want to think about it, wherein you're just focusing on one objective. So typically a website has multiple sections and so on and so forth. It's a lot of information, right? Landing page, on the other hand, is just very simple, and there are a whole ton of options out there that you can use to make them. But here's an example. Again, we are tying back to what Mari's messaging was. We are kind of putting out that, hey, you know what? Facebook video ads are important. We are giving them an option to get started. When they click on this, they can actually go and sign up with Mari's coupon code and then upgrade for a discount, right?
Yep.
So that's the 3-step process. Let's look at another example. We here, the objective is that we put up a marketing show every Wednesday. It's called Just Between You and Me. So we wanted to drive people and we wanted to get people to come and watch the show live, right? So how did we do this is we created a promo for about 45-50 seconds. It's an episodic promo, which was created on InVideo, by the way. We did that And that was our top of the funnel piece where we talk about how is marketing morphing in 2020, right? Then we drill it down to a more direct middle of the funnel piece where we actually ask the user, hey, have you faced these problems in 2020? Are you confused with how your marketing is going to look in the times to come because of COVID, right? And do you need help? Well, you should come and watch this webinar, right? Just let's take a look at this.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think, okay. Sorry, my bad. I think that there's something off with the assets, but okay, I'm not going to actually play the video. But
Okay.
yeah, the basic crux was that, right? That you actually ask them, hey, you have a problem, come and watch this episode.
Yep. Beautiful.
And then obviously you lead them to the destination is the landing page, right? So this is our landing page. As you can see, it's very, very simple and straightforward. You know exactly what to get out of the show, and then you can just register so that you can get updates for every time we go live with an episode. That's it, right? So 2 real world implications. I'll be more than happy to field questions at the end, wherein you can ask me how the funnel will look like for your industry, right? But now like I've actually opened Pandora's box and it's for you to go down the rabbit hole, right? Okay, what we're going to do is quickly for about 10 minutes, jump to InVideo and kind of see how you can create these assets there, both a snackable video as well as a video ad. So let's actually...
AB, just for 2 seconds, because I'm going to give you 2 seconds to jump off screen for just a moment. That coupon offer that we mentioned, you guys have popped the details in, but we don't actually have the code. So could you quickly grab a code that our members can use, considering we've told them all about it this morning? And I just want to just have a chat with our members at the moment about where we are with InVideo, and if you have any questions before we jump into the InVideo platform to show you the platform and see how it goes. Now, I'm only just going to give AB a couple of seconds so that we can get that 25% off promo for you that we promised you throughout the process before we wrap up the session today. And then we can jump in it from there. So guys, show of hands or in the chat box, where are you in your video creation journey? Just let us know in chat. Let us know how you're going. If you're watching the live stream, I can see the comments, and if you've got any questions as we go through the demonstration, please ask them. We'll be watching that through the process. For me, how we use InVideo here. Yeah, look, Athena wants to use it for career tips. Athena, I know how this, sorry, I don't know, but I can see how this will work. Now, Athena's one of my marketing circle members. What you'll see us use InVideo for is for short 1-minute media tips, marketing tips, where we take text through and we run a whole series of tips. Mark's been playing with it. That's fantastic. So yeah, you can either do 2 camera pieces. So like AB was showing with Mari, where there's a 2 camera piece and the video is being recorded and you're going to put the information in. It's a pretty cool tool and software once you get in it. And budget wise, it's really affordable. It's something that most business owners can have a look at being able to touch base with. And AB is going to get us this beautiful little bit area. Can you record your screen? AB, I haven't recorded my screen using InVideo.
You can't record it within InVideo, but if you do have, like I said, there are other recording software, you can actually bring it.
My suggestion for that one, if you want to record screens, because I love it because it's got everything in it, is called Screencastify. I'm just going to grab you the link so that you've got it and so you can jump into it. Allows you to record, syncs to Google Drive.
So for everyone who probably doesn't want to install a software, etc., we here use Loom. I mean, works brilliantly well for us. So for anyone who wants to probably just do that, it's a Chrome plugin. You don't even have to install anything.
Same as Screencastify, guys. And the reason I use Screencastify and why I'm sharing that particularly with my members AB, because they work on the same software as me, most of them, is because it allows you to be able to screen share. It allows you to be able to record yourself like Loom, but it's got highlighters and little video drawing tools, which for I think it's $24 US for the year. It's a pretty good tool to be able to use. And as I said, it syncs automatically to Drive for you. So all my little instructional how-tos that I do for most of you guys come in from that.
So,
beautiful.
Linda, I have actually got the code. Yeah. So
okay, guys.
25% coupon code. I will obviously touch upon pricing in the end. Actually, let's actually talk about that first and foremost, so that that whole block is going to take you.
Jump into the screen share and let's go, guys. So just in case anyone's thinking it's a normal BBB code, slightly different, we're N of a 25 on this one. So just making sure that you look for it. And so the coupon code we're looking for is Enever25, and I will, okay, I'm just going to go and put it into Facebook Live as well, and we'll be over there.
So I'm sharing my screen again, Linda. Let me know if you can see it.
Beautiful. We've got.
Great.
Yep,
okay. So from a pricing standpoint, right? This is where we are at. So just a heads up. We are potentially one of the least expensive alternatives there. In fact, that is a claim that we can strongly make. The only thing that could be cheaper is if something was free, right? And I don't think free apps out there will ever meet the kind of benchmark that we'll set for you. So the idea is that our default pricing is $10 a month if you bill annually. That comes to about $120 a year, right? Yep. But if you upgrade, if you want to do it on a monthly basis, then it'll potentially come to $20 a month, right? Recurring. Now, with Linda's code, what you can do is you will essentially get a flat 25% discount on this. So it comes down to less than $10 a month if you think about it. It's $90 a year. That's it. Let's look at what do you get in that, right?
Now, guys, we're covering our market that is US dollars, not Australian dollars. So just bearing in mind, there will be a little bit of currency transversion when you go through, just for those watching.
Yeah. But here's everything that you're going to get, right? You actually get to make 60 unique projects a month.
Yeah.
And when I say unique, corrections to an existing project does not actually count towards that, right? So you can make multiple corrections and renders of the same project, but I'm talking about 60 unique projects. You get access to a library of more than 3,500 unique templates that are made from the ground up. So just to kind of show you how that looks like.
They're pretty cool.
There you go. You've got a search bar. You can literally search for anything and everything, right? So for example,
while we're on the homepage, can you show off my favorite part, the calendar?
yeah. So we'll actually just take a look at the calendar as well one sec.
Yeah, because guys, this calendar is amazing. If you are stuck for content, this calendar has theme days from all over the world for you, and you can go ahead, and when we're talking about using Instagram videos, using stories, using all of these things here inside the calendar, when AB finds it, I'm pretty sure it's on the homepage, isn't it? Just scrolling down.
No, that's because we are towards the end of June, so we're actually trying to get the July one.
No, that's okay. So what it's got here is it's got a calendar full of events. So you see how you got stories, you got theme days. Now this is obviously talking about June. The July ones come out very shortly, if I remember from AB's World. But it's World Social Media Day. We could all get off the call today with AB and go and make a World Social Media Day video for the 30th of June.
Yeah. So there's 21st June is National Selfie Day. That's actually gone by. But 30th June is Social Media World, right?
Yeah.
So, and you can just click on any one of these. You will actually be able to see. So the content and the inspiration for what you can do is within the template itself. We've actually designed it in a way that when you look at it, you'll exactly know what the day is for and what you can create for it. And that's not even the best part. The best part is you can export this video just the way it looks like right now. So if I go inside this, okay, first things first, before we lose track and before I get into this.
I know, I just love the calendar.
So, you get access to all of these templates. Everything that you see here, we've got close to we are closing in on about 4,000 odd templates across categories, right? So irrespective of whatever profession you're from, you will be able to find a few templates that serve your use case, right? Yep. So that's that. Secondly, you've got an inbuilt library of more than 1 million royalty-free images and video clips. I think that's probably one of the biggest needle movers, because when you're creating content, the biggest roadblock that you will have is, hey, but I have to go and shoot footage. Or, hey, where do I get really good footage from? Because the price of a Shutterstock subscription in itself can be 5x of what an InVideo plan is for, right? So what you do get is we have partnered up with them. So you can actually use as many video clips as you'd like within the InVideo platform.
Beautiful.
And that's a part of your subscription. You don't spend a dime more on this, right? 3, you've actually got an extremely intuitive and flexible editing editor, right? Which kind of allows you to change everything about this template. So right now, whatever you're seeing here is just the starting point. when I get into this, I'll show you how you can literally change everything about this video and make it your own. It's like going into a shop or trying on a jacket and then kind of making sure that it is custom fit for you, right? That's what you can do when it comes to creating your own videos for InVideo. So your videos are not going to look like anyone else out there. Okay. And most importantly, I think this is important for you guys to understand. We actually have 24/7 live chat support, right? And obviously I am here, like we have a community of more than 6,000 of more than 8,000 odd creators and marketers on Facebook, right? That you can actually come and join us at. But here's the live chat window, right? So we are actually going to be there with you throughout this journey. You can literally just write to us at any given point in time. And someone from our team, a real human in today's age, will actually come back and say that, hey, how can I help? And he'll actually get your problem resolved in under a minute, right? Response times are as low as 30 seconds. So I think this is crucial because I know even after this, a lot of you will be apprehensive to make that jump.
Athena is saying that she's used it and it's very fast.
I'm glad that the experience turned out to be the way that
Renee can vouch for your support team as well. So I told you there was a few of my guys here that were already using it.
Got it. So let's say if I actually just get into this template, right? Let's quickly go into this because it's actually something that is coming up, and you can go and then use this template, after the session.
Yeah.
So it's available in all three sizes. It's available in YouTube, in the size that is best fit for YouTube, which is 16:9. Then there's a 1:1 version, which is what we are going to make, which is best fit for Facebook and Instagram regular posts. And then there's also 9:16, which is your vertical stories, right? But hey, here's the layout, right? I selected the template. This is the page that I come to. As you can see, I'm just going to take a moment to kind of explain the layout here. Don't worry about it if it seems complex on the surface. Here's your main workspace. So you can actually just modify things. You can do whatever it is that you want right here. On the left is your asset panel. So anything that you want to add to your scene. So let's say, for example, I want to replace this video with another video of someone being surprised, right? I can do that from the left panel. And this is the inbuilt media library that I was talking about. And I'll show you the power of this media library in under a second. But there you go. I kind of like this video clip. It kind of serves the purpose, right? Okay, so I'm just going to drag and drop this here. I'll say replace. I'll probably select the first 9 seconds. And there you go, right? You replace the video clip. So your inbuilt media library is here. Your music library is here. You can all of your uploads are going to rest here. You've got effects, you've got stickers, you've got your text. Just feel free to play around. They're very intuitive. There's nothing that you have to lose, right? It's not like anything that you do here is actually not reversible. You can just do a Control-Z or a Command-Z, which is basically the undo or keyboard shortcut, and it will actually undo anything that you've done. So don't worry about it, right? But the premise is anything that you want to add to your scenes will be on the left. That's your asset library. Anything that you want to edit on your scenes will be on the right. So let's say, for example, I want to change the color of this text box, right? You click on it, all the editing options on the right will actually end up becoming for that text box, right? So you can go and change this to, there you go. I just made it not opaque, right? But that's just one thing that we could have done. I can actually change this to black. There you go, right? As simple as it gets. I can also obviously move this around. I can drag and drop this. I can do like the works. So anyone who's actually used Canva at any given point in time, this will feel very, very similar and very intuitive, right?
And it's very drag and drop, guys. You can move features in. Now, AB, just one cool thing that you showed my marketing circle guys with the video, when you drag that video in before, there's an option that if you want to take, guys, you don't have to drop it down to 9 seconds at the start. You can drop it down to 9 seconds midway through, because obviously her face reaction is actually at the end of that video. So really, you want to have that reaction of surprise coming through.
Absolutely. So I guess this is what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So you can take whatever section of the video you want it to be.
In fact, here's the best part. You can actually increase or decrease the speed as well. So if you want to actually just speed up the video and kind of create a time lapse out of it, you can do it right here.
Fantastic.
Right? So yeah, you can also obviously use the full video, but yeah, that's actually something that you can do. Then let's look at what do you have here at the bottom, because this is what I'm assuming will be a bit intimidating for anyone who hasn't used an editor before. Well, it's actually very simple. All of your scenes are laid next to each other, right? So you select the scene, you can make whatever changes you want, edit, and move on to the next one. You can also increase or decrease like the duration of the scene. There you go, right? That easy, right? Click on the button here in the center. It'll give you a preview of the scene as well. So you can actually see any change that you've made.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, nothing to lose. It's, don't worry about it. It's like a game. You can actually play around with this, make as many customizations as you want. It's like Instagram filters. Do you actually ever get intimidated by applying filters? No, right? You try 20 filters before you zero in on the best. This is exactly that, right? You have nothing to lose. It's not like this is the final product that is going to go out, right? So don't worry about it. Play around with it. What else can you do? So that's essentially the timeline. You can switch to an advanced timeline view of this as well. This is more this is something that a lot of editors are more comfortable with. But again, right, you actually have all the layers. So for example, this is the logo layer, right? And it'll show you that the logo layer is from the start to the beginning. But you can actually make sure that it doesn't end up being from start to the beginning, and you can control when does it go out, right? So that's the purpose of layers, right? It's the exact same functionality as the previous one. I'm just going to switch to basic timeline before people go like people get all scared about this. But
can we show our members where we set their brand? So the logo and everything that AB is talking about is actually set in a brand area, guys, over here.
You can do it two ways, right? Right now, you see how the InVideo logo came in by default? That's because I've set it under brand presets here.
Yep.
Right? But here's the catch. It's actually very easy for you to, even if you don't do that, for you to actually replace this logo with your own, right? All you have to do is, I'm going to get rid of this, upload your logo here as a PNG. I have one, I think that I'm okay. So I'm
just going to prepared earlier. Yep, there we go.
Right? I'm going to add this as a layer because this is on top of your video, right?
Yeah.
There you go. And I'm just going to make this slightly smaller. Let me put this here for visibility, right? Now, all I have to do is copy this. So you can copy and paste elements across scenes, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to move on to the next one. I hit paste. There you go. I move on to the first one. I hit paste. And it'll actually come up on the first scene as well. There you go. Right?
There we go.
But
so AB, could we just extend that? So because it's a logo that we maybe want on everywhere, could we just possibly just extend it using the basic editor down the bottom?
Yes, absolutely. So you can actually extend it.
Yep.
There you go. Right. You can actually extend it for the whole scene, or you can extend it for the whole video.
There you go.
Right. You can go, but I'm saying in the interest of actually making this easier for you, like how do you make, because you're thinking in terms of scenes, right? You're actually not thinking of this as one big project, but at any given point in time, you're working on one scene, you're getting it right, and then moving on to the next one. For me personally, this approach actually helps a lot more as compared to kind of, making anything across the whole video. But hey, here's the best part. What if you do, like, if you don't want to do this, and if you're going to use your InVideo subscription for just one brand particularly, you can go to brand presets, right? There you go. And just upload your logo here. You can even set your default colors, right? So what this is going to do is every time you go and hit on the create button, it'll actually bring in your template, bring in your brand logo by itself, right? Okay, I'm just going to go back to my project. So that's literally as easy as it gets. Drag in, select the right template, change your text. So you can obviously change all of this text, drag and drop media. Now you know what I meant when I said that you can actually change the entire face. So, okay, let me give you an example. This scene here is a collage, right? I'm actually going to get rid of most of my media here. And I'm just going to keep it a one scene video now.
Yep.
And I'm going to move this to the top. There you go. Right now, suddenly I've actually, that's how easy it was for me to turn like a collage scene into a regular scene, right? With just one video clip. You can do this all day long. So it's just, feel free to just play around with this, right? But okay, hopping on back to our presentation.
Okay, just one thing that Athena's asked while we're in the builder.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
we design a square video and then resize it through to say a YouTube or a square or?
Yes, you can. So,
Yep.
okay, that's a great question. So let me actually show you how do you export this project, right? So there's a preview and export button here at the top right corner. This will allow you to see a preview of the whole video, right? As opposed to just a scene. If this is good to go for you, click on export video. It takes about 3 to 4 minutes for the video to be rendered on our servers. Once that is
Yep.
done, you will actually have a downloadable version, like how I have this downloadable version here, right? Now, what you can do in the meanwhile, you don't even have to wait for this to get rendered. You can click on duplicate project, and depending on the template that you've selected, right? Okay, let me show you what I mean. You see this template right now? When you click on this, it actually shows you the sizes it's available in, right? So if it is available across multiple sizes, you will get this option here when you're trying to duplicate it to select another size, right? So for example, 1:1, I'm going to kind of try and make this into a 9:16 video. And then I'm going to click on duplicate now. And I'm going to say duplicate anyway. InVideo will automatically resize everything and kind of give you a 9:16 version of this. There you go. Right? Now, what you are going to still want to do is just kind of take a couple of minutes and ensure everything is in place. Like, for example, I'd want my logo size to be slightly bigger, right?
Yep.
Because again, it's a function of your logo size by default, right? Sometimes it could happen that, you know, the video clip actually shows a part of the video that you are not like focused on, right? Or maybe your text day comes in the second line, right? So maybe what you want to do is maybe slightly make this wider, right? So these are very small cosmetic changes that you would want to do when you do this process, because it's a complete resolution change. But hey, 95% of your work will be cut out for you. And then you can just come here.
Pro tip from our team, we start with the 16:9s and then we resize, and it tends to be the best way to go. So we'll start with the 16:9 size, which is your YouTube size or your big interruption, and then we go through, and that tends to work the best for us here.
Yeah, because it's easier, right? It's like saying that you're cutting for a movie and then you kind of cut down to a computer screen and then you cut down to a phone screen, right? It's actually easier for you to scale that way as opposed to going the other way around. But as you can see, we're already at 80% for our first version, and the second version is currently rendering, right? So I'm just quickly going to show you how you can join the Facebook community as well. It's about 8,000 odd members. We do a whole bunch of training sessions. If you actually have found value in this, I actually did a very similar training session, I think on Saturday, on the community. We keep doing that every once in a while. Extremely helpful as a community if you are if you want to make that jump to, you know, video marketing, and if you want to kind of learn from your peers and get feedback on your videos and do all of that, right? I also am there on the community, so is the CEO, so is everyone else. So, you know, feel free to actually join us there. Okay, jumping back to our presentation.
Beautiful.
Here's so if you just enjoyed this and if you feel like you want to attend more of this, I have a follow-up session that I think will be very interesting for you, which is copywriting for social media, right? I've just showed you the basic construct of video marketing. Now, if you want to deep dive into, okay, how do you write scripts, for example? How do you come up with, you know, even if it's a 6-7 liner, although you don't really need fancy copy, I've just told you everything that you need. But even then, if you want to deep dive into that subject, you can actually come and attend this. It's going to be on invideo.io/you and me. It's on the 24th of June, 10 a.m. PST, and we've got Ken Moskowitz on the show, right? But other than that, Linda, I think it's over to you. I think I have covered everything that I have wanted to. I'm hoping that this was helpful. Obviously, you can drop in. Okay, I'm just going to drop in my email address here so that you guys can reach out to me with follow-up questions.
Thank you, AB. That would be great. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing that amazing information and session with us on this webinar. For those My Marketing Circle members, there is definitely some help for you inside the Marketing Circle about creating copy. And we've even deep dive further into InVideo about how to take text to video and all of those sorts of things. But for those BBB members or the Strategy Circle members with Clive, this is where we leave InVideo today. You are more than welcome to go in and deep dive into a little bit further training from there. Clive Strategy Circle is just there in the details there. My Marketing Circle, I should most probably grab for you guys. But first of all, I just want to let you know of the upcoming webinars and workshops and craziness that is going on in the world of BBB over the next little while. Caroline, I'm glad it was really informative. I've just popped in the Enova Group Eventbrite page. So we've done a video today with AB and we've looked at optimizing your stuff. We optimizing and creating social video. We have also tonight at 7 p.m. we have a course creation Q&A session with myself, which if you want to come in and join in, there's still a couple of spots left in that. It's starting to fill up and hit that 100 level. So if you have been thinking about creating courses or doing anything like that, do that. Next week at 11:30 a.m. we have Alex coming and joining us talking about optimizing your body for success within business. So as business owners, we know that we can burn out very easily, and that is a huge thing through there. And then on July 28th, we're booked in for 5 ways to optimize your learning with the Blinkist team. So Blinkist, if you don't know, are an audio listening app, and they're going to talk to us about optimizing our learning in that space. And for those of you who are really in the mode of course creation, on the 13th of July for a week, you can join me for 5 days of kickstarting your online course. And then we'll talk about copywriting, writing sales pages, lead pages, that whole process of getting your course ready to sell. So if it's been looking at something you've been doing, looking to do, gee, words are great with me today. If it's something you've been looking to do, you can by all means delve into that space with me as well. All of those events are on the Eventbrite list that we have for the Enova Group Circle, which is the Enova Group Eventbrite listing. And if you want to know more, we definitely have more stuff coming up over the time. So today we have had AB with us, and we've learned about the world of marketing our businesses with videos. Now, the copywriter in me says, there's some really good tips about having copy that'll allow Google to rank your videos. And that's the sort of stuff that I share with my Marketing Circle members, so that you are more than welcome to come in and we can chat about that a little bit further inside those areas. But you do need to have some good copy and have some stuff indexed so that Google can use the power of search to be able to find you. But InVideo as a tool, from being able to take text to be able to do, and we haven't even shown you half the stuff it does. It can do logo stings. It can do all sorts of things to help you market your business. It's got some really good templates in it. It's a drag and drop editor. There is no simpler video editing platform out there that I know of, and I get to touch them all on a regular basis. You guys know we get to review them and touch them all on a regular basis. So I'd like to thank AB for coming in. I'd like to suggest that we all go and have a look at InVideo. I'd like to see if we can all create an InVideo, maybe a social media one. Tag me. If you put a video out there, tag me or tag the business group and share it and pop the video in that you've done. It has been a really good session today. AB, thanks for joining us. And I know it's the middle of the morning where you are at the moment, so thank you for getting up incredibly early to join us for this webinar. So I would like to say thank you to everyone. Thanks guys for joining us. We'll be back at this time next week because it's a double webinar month, and we'll be talking with Alex about how to optimize our bodies for success. And for those of you who are joining me for the course creation one tonight, I'll see you then. Bye.
Bye, Linda.